I want to ask you something that's really important, I think, to a lot of the public, that has to do with the housing crisis and the middle class kind of just disintegrating. What's your plan for that if you're in office?
I have an extensive plan for how to get this generation of kids into housing. And, this is one of my principal preoccupations, that I have 7 kids, and one of them, the eldest, who's 39, is in a house, but the 6 younger ones, between 20 and 30, none of them has any prayer of getting into a home. And the housing prices have gone up by from $215,000 to 2 years ago to $400,000 today. The interest rates have gone up from 3% to almost 8%, which means my kids are paying 10 or 11%, and they're competing against BlackRock, State, and its company Blackstone. BlackRock doesn't actually buy single-family homes, but these giant behemoths, Blackstone, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, Fidelity, are now buying single-family. They own.
You can't dismantle them.
No, you can't. But there's things that you can do, and I'm happy to talk about that. They own 89% of the S&P 500.
Okay.
And now they're trying to buy all of our farmland, and they're trying to buy all of our single-family homes.
So what can you do? Is that considered a monopoly? Is that like a monopoly?
No, in some. BlackRock is not a monopoly, but it has companies within certain sectors that are operating monopolistically, and in those cases, I will bring Sherman antitrust actions against them. I'll do on the longer term. I'll fix the IRS, which I need the Senate and House to do, and I'm going to offer a law that will penalize large companies, large investment firms from owning multiple units of single-family housing, so it will no longer be profitable, and that will release a tremendous amount of housing back into the marketplace. Right now, our kids are competing against BlackRock's bank book. So, my kid has a crappy credit rating. What I'm going to do is I'm going to issue a new class immediately, a new class of T-bill, Treasury bills at 3% interest to people who are buying single-family homes, particularly young people and teachers. And I'm going to I'm going to fund that by issuing these Treasury bills. I'm going to issue mortgages at 3%. I'm going to fund that with Treasury bills that are 3% Treasury bills, but they are tax-free. So the company, it will be funded by the market. And, if you have a rich uncle who will co-sign your mortgage, you can get a much better rate because the bank is basing their interest rate not on your lousy credit rating, but on your uncle's fantastic credit rating. And I'm going to give everybody a rich uncle, all these young people, which is Uncle Sam, which is going to guarantee your mortgage, so to allow you to get that 3% rate. And if you default on it, we will inherit, the federal government will inherit. This is how Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae operated, and they now have $110 billion surplus from the homes that they reclaimed. My uncle did a very, very similar legislation in 1961. And this week I was in Orlando, or in Tampa, visiting one of the apartment units. I think there's 183 apartment units. The rent for those units is about $250 a month. And it was at 3% interest. It was one of the, and I'm going to do that. I mean, my primary objective, other than ending the forever wars and ending the chronic disease epidemic, is to get this generation of kids into houses.